Red Dead is peak. Finish RE9. Okay, we are gonna finish RE9. Yeah, Red Dead. Okay, everyone wants Red Dead. We'll do Red Dead next. Dude, I want to watch some videos first, though. Guys, which one should we watch? I saw this video on my feed and this one, and I wanted to watch it with you guys. Why it sucks to be born as a Tarnished or fiction's darkest characters explained. Which one? Oh my god, the first one is Griffith. Yo, I low-key think we watched this one. All right, fiction's darkest characters. Don't know why Griffith is at the top of the list. I feel like this guy should be like number one.
The anime and manga series Berserk is one of the darkest and most messed up characters in all of fiction.
Dude, who could be worse than Griffith? Okay, I'm pausing.
Leader of the Band of the Hawk.
Who could be worse than Griffith?
Ruling his own kingdom one day, and he was willing to do anything to achieve that dream.
Is this Nightmare?
It all started to fall apart after Guts, his closest friend and strongest warrior, left the band. That loss shattered Griffith's sense of control. In his desperation, he did something rather unexpected. He seduced Princess Charlotte, which led to him being captured and brutally tortured for an entire year. When Guts and the others finally rescued him, they didn't find the shining commander they once followed. They found a broken, starved shell of a man who could barely speak or move. Griffith held the Crimson Behelit in his hand, which
How can Griffith be evil if he's hot?
Is basically a demonic relic, and that moment directly led to the beginning of the event known as the eclipse.
Oh my
Everything
god.
around them changes, and the entire Band of the Hawk is—
Dude, okay, I'm pausing a lot, but like, bro, when I first read the eclipse, I dead ass, like, I was jaw dropped. Like, it just kept getting worse and worse and worse. And worse.
A hellish dimension known as
Griffith is not hot, bro.
The God Hand appear. They tell Griffith that he's been chosen and that he can still achieve his dream if he offers the lives of his followers as a sacrifice. He agrees without hesitation, of course. Everyone is branded with the brand of sacrifice, which basically marks you as an offering, meaning demons will hunt you down for all eternity. The apostles descend and start slaughtering everyone. They tear through the Band of the Hawk like animals. Every friend Guts ever had is brutally killed right in front of him. Griffith was reborn as Femto, the fifth member of the—
Not as bad as going through the Nightmare Seed, though.
God Hand. And his first—
Bro's lazy. Good boy for making it 500. I stopped watching these because the Nightmare streams got repetitive. Exactly. The fat guy looks like Cloud. I don't look like that guy, bro.
While Guts was unable to do anything to
I think I relate more to Guts, you know. I think I have more of a Guts build IRL.
Griffith returned to the world as the savior of Falconia, a shining messiah who built the last great human city amidst the chaos. And hey, in Griffith's defense, at least his "I'm gonna build a kingdom" plan technically worked. Just, you know, at the cost of literally everyone.
Griffith defender? Epstein is worse than Griffith? Agreed. Okay, you put him at 2.
Anton Chigurh is one of the most terrifying and relentless—
Oh my god, I watched this movie with Anthony.
The moment he enters the story, it's clear he's not just
so
another
creepy.
criminal. He is a force of inevitability, a walking—
This guy worse than Griffith, though? No.
Moral code. Chigurh's pursuit begins when Llewellyn Moss—
More of a Guts build IRL, bro, be honest. What do you mean, bro? What do you mean?
In the end, Moss is killed by other criminals before a final confrontation can occur, demonstrating that Chigurh's presence and pursuit of inevitability extends beyond his own direct actions. Chigurh himself survives a car accident, leaving the story unresolved and reinforcing—
Every time this guy almost died, I was like, please die. Please die.
Side, if you ever want to see a coin toss with truly high stakes, Anton Chigurh's got you covered. It's just that tails usually means you're dead.
Is that what you're asking me?
I don't know if you guys would watch, bro. I literally play off stream. I play CS every night with my friend, with Nick, and I play Siege every night too. Pretty good too. BO7? Fuck no.
Judge Holden from the novel Blood Meridian is one of the most terrifying and enigmatic figures in modern fiction. He's bald, very tall, with pale white skin,
game are you playing?
looking like a fat version of
I wanted to watch this video and then we'll play something.
Holden first enters the story as a companion to the Glanton Gang, a group of scalp hunters traveling through the lawless borderlands. The kid, the novel's protagonist, and the other gang members are drawn to him, both impressed and unsettled by his vast knowledge and charisma. Judge is a psychopath who doesn't care for human life.
So he's the Joker.
Horrific crimes against humanity.
He is bald.
Hop on CS. This video to stay up. During the gang's confrontations with local populations and rival gangs, Holden not only participates in the killings, but seems to delight in elevating them into ritualized acts of terror, teaching the men to see brutality as an art form. The worst part about him is that he's also immortal, possesses super strength, and is basically unstoppable throughout the story. But he's not just a physical threat. He has unmatched intelligence, speaking fluently in multiple languages and discussing law, philosophy,
oh my god,
is this
history,
all while orchestrating death around him.
Judge Holden is one of the worst characters ever made?
Their preacher. The
really?
Encounters Holden decades
I've never heard of this guy. He's way worse than the Joker.
Dragging him into a stall with a little girl who was also present in the saloon. What happens to the kid is unknown. One theory is that the judge assaulted and then killed the kid, while another suggests he manipulated the kid.
What the fuck? Who made this guy, bro?
Into harming the girl. After that, he goes on to dance completely naked, as if nothing happened, saying that he never sleeps and that he will never die.
Whatever in creation exists without my knowledge exists
Okay.
without my consent.
Worse than Griffith? Yo, he might be. He might be.
Johann Liebert. Johann Liebert from the anime and manga series Monster is the living embodiment of pure, calculated evil. He looks like your average
This
man,
is
but
peak.
not particularly strong or anything.
Bro, I didn't like Monster, okay? Listen, hot take, I don't like Monster that much, but dude, this villain is so well made. He is actually a fucking crazy villain.
But
this might be a top anime villain. I'm not even
his
kidding.
Evil comes specifically from psychological torture and manipulation. His story begins with Dr. Kenzo Tenma, a neurosurgeon in West Germany. One night, a boy with a gunshot wound to the head is brought into the hospital, Johann, along with his twin sister Anna. Tenma is ordered to operate on the mayor instead, but he disobeys, choosing to save the boy instead. The mayor dies, Tenma is punished, and Johann and his sister vanish. As a child, Johann and Anna were part of a secret psychological experiment in East Germany at an orphanage called 511 Kinderheim. The place was designed to break down children's identities and rebuild them into perfect citizens. The result,
even the
Johann
backstory is
manipulated
just
everyone
fucked.
there into slaughtering each other. After escaping with his sister, Johann continues his pattern, quietly inserting himself into people's lives and destroying them from within. Without moving his finger, he convinces people to take their own lives, to murder loved ones, and to destroy everything they care about, all through words alone. Throughout the series, Dr. Tenma hunts him across Europe, driven by guilt for saving his life. Meanwhile, Johann manipulates governments, criminals, and ordinary people with terrifying ease. He even causes the entire Red Rose Mansion organization, a group connected to Kinderheim's creators, to collapse from within. Johann wants to stage the perfect suicide by making someone else kill him, erasing his existence while proving that the line between good and evil is meaningless.
And the ending.
He even chooses a specific orphan boy to inherit his identity, continuing the cycle of manipulation and despair.
Only one thing's equal for all.
Is he gonna put my... Okay, that far away from Griffith?
Hannibal Lecter. Hannibal Lecter from Silence of the Lambs.
How is he 4 tiers under Griffith when he made a bunch of kids, convinced a bunch of kids to kill themselves? Yo, Johann, my model. My role model.
Most
what?
Calculating villains in fiction. The story begins with Lecter incarcerated for his cannibalistic murders. He is always calm, composed, and very intelligent.
I've never heard of this guy.
The ability to easily manipulate people, controlling situations even in captivity. FBI sends a trainee, Clarice Starling, to interview him. Clarice seeks his help to track the serial
that guy looks
killer
familiar.
Buffalo Bill. Lecter agrees, but on his terms. He manipulates the investigation, giving cryptic
He looks like
clues
Michael
in return
Myers.
for painful memories of her childhood. He plays psychological games with her, probing her fears and insecurities while remaining polite and calculated. Clarice does manage to catch the serial killer, but Hannibal quickly escapes custody, murdering several people in the process. He even cuts
This
off
is
a
how
police
he
officer's
left
face.
the room looking?
Hannibal quickly...
Yo! You don't know Hannibal? No. What the...
escapes custody, murdering several people in the process. He even cuts off a police officer's face and wears it as a disguise along with the officer's uniform to make his escape. They mistake him for a wounded officer, of course, and on the way to the hospital, he kills one of the medics escorting him before disappearing without a trace. He's a psychopath with no empathy whatsoever toward his victims, or should I say his meals.
Read my previous... I told you about this guy on the ER slasher vid? Oh, I think I remember that. Oh, you're right. I was fucking 8 when my dad made me watch this movie. Yo, he just said he put on a human skin face mask, and you watched that when you were 8? Yo, I'm not gonna lie, when I was a kid, I watched the Scream movies, and that traumatized me. That's crazy.
Does he do this? And you seek.
Worse than...
Alucard from the anime and manga series Hellsing is one of the darkest and most terrifying characters in fiction.
Really? So many people told me to do a Alucard build.
Before he became Alucard, he was Vlad the Impaler, better known as Dracula, the cruel 15th century ruler of Wallachia. He was a human tyrant who waged wars against the Ottoman Empire, known for impaling his enemies and displaying their corpses as warnings. Eventually, Alucard was defeated, but before being executed, he drank the blood from the battlefield and became a true vampire. In the modern era, Alucard serves Integra Hellsing, the head of the Hellsing organization. He's a loyal weapon, but also a free will of chaos, fighting supernatural threats across England. His personality is cruel, playful, and sadistic. He taunts enemies, dismantles them with ease, and finds joy in seeing the limits of human courage.
Though this anime looks kind of cool.
Alucard is unleashed against the Nazi vampire army known as Millennium. Alucard battles Major Montana Max, the leader of Millennium, and his last forces in London. Alucard does manage to massacre everyone, but he gets himself trapped by Schrödinger, a being who exists everywhere and nowhere. By absorbing Schrödinger's soul, Alucard becomes trapped in a paradox, disappearing into non-existence. For 30 years, he remained...
He doesn't sound that bad to me, bro. He killed a bunch of Nazis? What?
gone, neither dead nor alive, lost in an infinite void of souls, until one day he returns. By consuming every other soul within him except his own, he finally achieves true awareness. Alucard is now omnipresent. He can exist anywhere and nowhere at will, beyond life and
What?
death, and beyond even time itself.
I want to hear you squeal like a pig.
Okay, 8. All right, that's reasonable.
Kid Boo.
Yo, the menace himself. Scream movies are soft. The first one opening scene is crazy. Okay, yeah. I mean, now they are soft, but when I was a kid, they fucking scared me because I was a kid.
Boo from the anime and manga series Dragon Ball is the literal embodiment of evil and destruction. He has no empathy, no morality, and no purpose beyond annihilating everything around him.
He's
the
a menace.
original Majin Buu was created by the warlock
Black
Bibidi
Air
millions of
Force
years
wielder.
ago. Bibidi used him as a weapon of mass extinction, a living apocalypse that wiped out entire civilizations. He slaughtered the Supreme Kais, the divine overseers of the universe, until one of them, the Dai Kaioshin, managed to weaken him by merging his own essence with Buu's body. Buu has multiple transformations that he can go through. Fat Buu, Evil Buu, Super Buu, and Kid Buu, which is the most evil version out of all the forms.
My
When he
favorite
fought Goku
saga?
and Vegeta on Earth, he eventually reverted back into his original Kid Buu form. And you want to guess what's the first thing he did? He immediately destroyed the entire planet without a second thought. Destroying Earth wasn't enough for him though, so he went straight to heaven to kill everyone all over
Oh
again.
my god.
Me Boo, kill you.
3?
Bill Cipher,
Under
Bill
Griffith?
Cipher from the
That's how bad Griffith is, bro. Kid Buu nuked planet and heaven itself, and that wasn't as bad as Griffith.
animated series Gravity Falls is one of the darkest, most chaotic characters in fiction. Even though he looks harmless, Bill influences people and events from the shadows. He's a
Bill
trickster and a
Cipher.
master manipulator who enjoys psychological games.
I
Bill
don't
often
remember
forms deals
Gravity
with
Falls
humans,
very
granting
much.
them desires in exchange for their souls or services. His true power and darkness are revealed in the final arc of the series. His main goal is a full-scale invasion of Earth, where he seeks to merge his dimension with reality, creating a chaotic, apocalyptic realm where the laws of physics, morality, and sanity are meaningless. Bill's methods are sadistic. He doesn't just attack physically, he psychologically tortures everyone. He forces Stan to confront his worst fears, manipulates Mabel's insecurities, and twists reality to make friends and family turn on each other. During Weirdmageddon, Bill builds an army of monsters and corrupted citizens. For him, the goal isn't conquest or personal gain. It's to reshape reality into
He
his
looks so
chaotic
innocent,
image,
though.
consuming everything in the process. The Pines family and their allies do manage to defeat him, trapping him and ultimately destroying his physical form.
It goes 7 probably. I would say it's a pretty good list. Where's Show Tucker? Oh yeah, dude. That guy goes up at number 1, bro. Turning his daughter to a dog. W video though. I absolutely love these style of videos. You guys want to watch the Tarnished one or should we play Roblox? Okay, fine, we'll watch it.
Crypt, surrounded by the stench of death and failure.
Your life as a Tarnished. Okay, this is my life.
Congratulations, you're a Tarnished. What's a Tarnished, you ask? Well, imagine being so good at your job that the universe itself kicked you out of the lands between, slapped a graceless sticker on your forehead, and told you, we'll call you when we need you. But now,
You're
for
maidenless.
reasons unknown, Grace has decided to swipe right on you. Does this mean you're
Yo, the
special?
editing of this is fire.
No, it just means you're the latest contestant in Who Wants to Die repeatedly for some cosmic being's cause. Your first challenge? A tutorial boss called the Grafted Scion. It's an abomination of limbs,
I beat him every single time. Every single time.
swords, and self-esteem issues. Naturally, it kills you in one hit, but don't worry, this is from
Not me,
software.
not
Dying
me.
isn't the end, it's the start of a beautiful, masochistic relationship. After
No
your
Riz.
humiliating defeat, you respawn in a tomb that screams budget funeral home. A ghostly voice whispers cryptic nonsense about grace and destiny, but
listen.
you're too busy wondering why your armor looks like it was looted from a medieval
Bro, you never beat him once on New Game. Yo,
yard sale.
we don't talk about that, bro.
Finally, you step outside and bam, the land's in between. It's gorgeous, it's vast, and it's filled with things that want to kill you. A hulking tree sentinel on a golden horse stands nearby, daring you to approach. Do you, 1, charge in heroically, 2, run away screaming, number 3, accidentally aggro it and die in 2 hits?
Every single person, except me, always tries to fight him, and then they die. Yo, I'm here, but can't write shit, BBG.
If you chose
Bro, I
option
can see your
3,
response.
congratulations, you're playing this life correctly. Eventually, you stumbled upon the first NPC, Whiteface Varen. He greets you with, a Tarnished are we? Translation, wow, you look pathetic. He tells you about the Elden Ring, the Air Tree, and something about fingers. It's weird. Everyone here is really into fingers. Then Melina shows
Akira,
up,
bro.
ethereal and mysterious.
Yo,
offering
Chicago
you a deal.
Akira.
She'll help you, but only if you agree to carry her everywhere like some medieval Uber. You say yes, partly because you're desperate and partly because Torrent, her spectral horse, looks awesome. What she doesn't mention,
The goat Torrent,
Grace
bro.
isn't just a guide, it's the greater will's way of manipulating you into fixing its mess. Armed with a rusty sword,
Yo, low-key, this is actually helping me learn the lore, because I still don't know the lore of Elden Ring.
a rickety shield, and a questionable sense of purpose, you set off into the world. You're broke,
Fuck
clueless,
Torrent? Yo, what'd you say? I'm timing you out.
and about
Fuck
to
Torrent, he asked?
die more
Yo,
times than
yo.
you can count.
What?
Welcome to the lands between, Tarnished. You're gonna love it here. Still licking your wounds from the tree sentinel encounter, you wander aimlessly until you stumble upon the Church of Elden. This is your first taste of civilization, though calling it that feels generous. Inside, you meet Kale, a merchant who looks like he's one bad
Yo, he's
deal
doing
away
it
from
wrong. You go past the church to the other one, and then you go back to the church. Yo, what is this order?
bankruptcy. He sells you a crafting kit and soap because even in the world of cosmic horror, hygiene is important.
Watch that 12-hour Elden Ring lore vid. Bro, I barely have the attention span to get through a 10-minute video. You think I can watch a 12-hour video? Yeah, actually, no, I can't, bro.
But before you can question why this
Torrent
guy's
betrayed
name
us
sounds
against
like a
Mikola.
salad ingredient, a blue-haired woman named Ronnie shows up. She hands you the
She's so bad. Sorry.
spirit calling bell, allowing you to summon spectral allies. She's cryptic, aloof, and definitely knows more than she's letting on. Classic From Software NPC energy. Spoiler, she doesn't. Not yet, anyway. Just when
Honest.
you're starting to get the hang of this whole wandering peasant and
You
a
get
death world
dogged.
thing, Melina shows up again. She's still mysterious, and this time she offers you a deal. Take her to the air tree, and she'll give you the ability to level up. You agree, partly because you're desperate for power, and partly because, why not? Just look at that horse! Armed with your new steed and a vague sense of purpose, you follow the glowing rays of grace. These act as your GPS, leading you toward your
Actually, you should just go to the dragon, get the runes, get those smithing stones, and then go to Margit. I love you, Cloud. So happy you went live, gang. You might king.
realization
Thank you,
that they
bro.
weren't kidding about being really into fingers. Stormvale is
They
a
love their
sprawling fortress
fingers.
ruled by Godric the Grafted, a demigod with an unhealthy fascination for DIY limb enhancement.
Why do you skip
As you
Margit?
fight your way through traps, enemies, and enough lore to fill a wiki, you begin to understand the stakes. The Elden Ring isn't just a shiny object.
I thought
it's
that was
the
a pickle
blueprint
for a
for
second.
reality itself, shattered and scattered among power-hungry demigods. When you finally confront Godric, he
The
does
easiest
what any
boss in the game.
self-respecting megalomaniac would. Chops off his own arm and replaces it with a dragon's head, because why not? After a grueling battle, you emerge victorious.
All that just to be the weakest character in the entire game, weakest boss, and weakest in the lore. This is the definition of a fraud.
It's like the universe itself is whispering,
Why they make Godric
"Not
Jack?
bad, kid.
Yeah, he's
I'll
chopped.
do it 5 more times. Defeating Godric is a turning point. You're no longer just a clueless Tarnished, you're a Tarnished with a purpose. And that purpose? To collect the great runes, restore the Elden Ring, and decide the fate of the lands between. But don't get cocky, this is only the beginning, and the lands between still has plenty of ways to humble you. With
In the lore, he isn't bad. I thought he was like canonically the weakest one. Cloud and Godric have a lot in common. Yo, you're talking to a Nightmare Seed winner. You're talking to a Nightmare Seed winner, bro. Show some fucking respect, all right? Show some respect. Show some respect. You know, did you beat the Nightmare Seed? Yo. Dude, by the way, on the topic of the Nightmare Seed, Nexus texted me. My run didn't count. My run didn't count on the leaderboards, bro. Just because I beat the fucking guy behind Weeping Peninsula with the thing. Why didn't I read the rules?
Godric's defeat behind you, you're feeling confident. Maybe too confident, but the lands between isn't about to roll out a red carpet.
Anyways.
Instead, it's rolling out a parade of horrors.
Time to
Fire
redo it.
spewing chariots, dragons with a vendetta.
Cloud disappointed
and
me.
NPCs
I
with more
probably
red
won't
flags
watch
than a
his
toxic
streams
gas.
again. What did I
As
do to you,
venture
bro?
out, the true scale of the lands between hits you. Limgrave was just the kiddie pool. Now you're diving into places like Liurnia of the Lakes, a vast expanse of water, magic,
Oh, this
and
place
regret.
is so nice.
Here you meet the Academy of Rhea Lucaria. The
This is my
Academy's
favorite
leader,
place for the-
Renala, is a
for the
powerful
longest.
sorceress with a tragic backstory and a knack for hurling moon magic at your face. Beating her feels less like a victory and more like surviving an abusive physics class. But it's not all doom and gloom. Along the way, you start to gather allies, or at least people who tolerate you. Blade, the wolf-headed warrior, becomes your
You cheated on Nightmare? Not on purpose! I didn't read the fine print! Have you watched Invincible? Not the new season yet, bro.
grow for life. And then there's
Yo,
Lonnie, the
Blade is
mysterious
goated.
witch who offers you a questline so convoluted it might as well come
Man,
with a flowchart. Your primary mission becomes clear. Collect all the great runes, each is guarded by a demigod, and each demigod has enough personal baggage to fill a therapy office.
Easy, easy.
Radon, the Star Scourge, a giant warrior with gravity-defying powers and a tragic backstory.
Still top
He's
3 boss.
literally holding the stars in place. His festival of combat
This
is less a
just
battle
sounds
and
like
more
a
a battle.
reason to start Nightmare 2.
You will find me fucking 6 feet under before I play another version of Nightmare Seed. All right? I am not touching Nightmare Seed ever again. Don't even mention the word nightmare. So you didn't beat it. Bro cheats and still loses. I didn't cheat. I did not cheat. What do you mean I cheated? I cheated by accident. Okay? And I cheated on a chop boss. I still beat the hardest shit. Completely legit, bro. Anyways.
Royale where everyone dies. Morgoth the Omen King. Godric's less embarrassing relative who guards the capital with all the fervor of a mall cop on steroids.
Why does he look like
Rykard,
that?
Lord of Blasphemy. He fed himself to a
Rykard
giant
was the
snake
most
because
fun.
subtlety isn't in his vocabulary. The Lands Between is also full of
I was
characters
getting
who
rage
range from
baited.
vaguely helpful to outright homicidal.
No cornsol
Patches,
spikes.
a recurring troll who alternates between robbing you and pretending to be your friend.
Patches is the goat. Don't
Hunter of the
diss.
Dead, a grim figure
don't diss
with
Patches.
a grudge against anything undead. Spoiler, things don't end well for him. Fia, that bad companion. She offers to hold you but drains your health in the process. It's the most toxic relationship you'll ever agree to. These characters add depth to the world, but they also remind you that trust is a luxury you
Dude, I think in my first run I killed all 3 of them.
can't afford. But hey, you've got Torrent, a glowing sword,
Watch
and
this?
a
Okay,
determination
maybe
of
after.
someone who's died 200 times and keeps coming back for more. What could possibly go wrong? With a few great runes in your pocket.
Can you just beat it again? Bro, I would rather take back shots than beat that shit again, alright? I'm not gonna lie.
And a growing list of demigod therapy bills in your wake, you press forward.
We know
starting to
you
feel
used
like a little
AI.
more like someone who
Yo.
can actually get this Elden Lord gig done. Spoiler, you're wrong. The Lands Between isn't finished humbling you yet. First on the chopping block, Star Scourge Radon, the biggest boy on the block.
easiest
Literally,
boss.
Radon is a walking mountain who somehow still rides his childhood pony, Leonard. It's not cute, it's tragic. The Scarlet Rot, a gift from Melania in their clash, has eroded his
Bend over.
mind, his body, and most of his common sense, leaving him a feral beast with gravity magic strong enough to hold the literal stars hostage. You're invited
And he did all of that just to be able to ride his horse. Were you a smart fella? Yeah, man.
the
Fuck,
Radon
I had
Festival,
like
which sounds fun until you
90s.
realize that Festival in the Lands Between is just code for Suicide
it was
Pact.
probably low.
Warriors from across the world have gathered, not to fight with you, but to create a chaotic distraction while you desperately dodge meteors and figure out how to land a hit on Radon without becoming medieval roadkill. After what feels like hours of dying, regrouping, and questioning your life choices, you finally take him down. The stars resume their celestial dance, and you bask in the victory until you remember
It was
that you've
beat.
only just started.
Yep, that's
Next
literally like
up,
the 3rd or 4th
Praetor
boss.
Rykard, who apparently woke up one day and thought, you know what would go great with my god complex? A giant snake. He fed himself to said snake, transforming into a grotesque hybrid.
Ew,
Armed with the
that's his
serpent
lore?
hunter
I didn't know
spear,
that.
That's literally what it's called. You stab, dodge, and cheese your way to victory. Then
was
there's Morgoth,
more of
Omen
the
King,
one of the most
capital's
fun
grumpy
fights.
gatekeeper. If Godric was the embarrassing cousin everyone pretends doesn't exist, Morgoth is the sibling who gets all the work done but never gets the appreciation. His
More
golden
goated.
weaponry and relentless aggression make him a tough opponent, but you manage to take him down. In true From Software fashion, his dying breath isn't gratitude or regret, but pure, unfiltered spite. Classic. And then the walking biohazard, Melania, Blade of Miquella. If Radon was a walking
hell no.
disaster, Melania is
Yo, I don't want to see this fucking boss even in a drawn form, bro.
an elegant apocalypse. Her Haligtree domain is a labyrinth of rot, despair, and enemies designed
She's got a
solely to
domain?
make you scream into a pillow.
JJK reference?
She's got a move, Waterfowl Dance, that turns every fight into a high-stakes guessing game of, will I die instantly? Her Scarlet Rot infects the battlefield.
let me
a
solo
reminder
her.
that even in defeat, she takes you down with her.
JJS later,
After
maybe.
countless retries, you emerge victorious. She transforms into a giant flower and calmly reminds you that she is undefeated because she blooms again and again. You're not sure whether to feel inspired or call it quits. But as you pocket their great runes, a question looms. Are you really
Mommy.
fixing the world, or are you just
wonder
another
if I could
pawn in
beat
the
Melania.
greater
I
will's
did
cosmic
beat
game of
Melania.
Who wants to be a puppet? With the great runes in hand and your growing kill count making you the land's
Elden Ring YouTuber. Channel blew up because of ER. Got more than 1,000 hours in ER and doesn't know the lore. Let's just move on.
between's least popular house guest, the weight of your journey begins to settle. But just as you think you're starting to make sense of this broken world, the truth sucker punches you. Your next destination is the Forge of the Giants, a fiery hellscape where you're tasked with burning the Earth Tree. Why? Because apparently
this
your
boss.
carefully curated collection of great runes isn't enough to break the Greater Will's grip. You need to barbecue the sacred tree at the heart of the Golden Order's power. But this isn't just a routine case of arson.
When was your last goon? Wait, let me check. About 8 minutes ago when we saw Ranny.
To light the forge, someone has to sacrifice themselves. Enter Melina, your cryptic travel companion and the closest thing you've got to a moral compass. She offers to immolate herself.
Now
and
you
you're
gotta
left
go to
with
the
a
fat
choice.
ass.
Let her go through with it, or embrace the frenzied flame and burn the world your way. But you start to wonder, is this truly your choice, or is it the greater will
You
pulling
got the most
strings?
needed character? You got a
Letting
new
Melina
character?
Go through with it feels like submitting to destiny, while embracing the frenzied flame is an act of rebellion so extreme it could torch the lands between and your very identity. Either way, you decide whether to let this woman burn herself. I hope you can live with yourself. You need to know what it is to make the choice, you say? Well, the Frenzied Flame is an outer god that's basically the chaotic evil cousin of the Greater Will. Where the Golden Order wants to impose its rigid structure, the Frenzied Flame offers freedom by burning everything and everyone to ash.
That's why
But
Frenzy
freedom
Flame
nonetheless.
ending is the
If
goated
you
one.
choose to reject the flame and let Melina sacrifice herself, the air tree burns and the Golden Order's influence begins to wane. This clears the way for you to enter crumbling Farum Azula, a floating ruin
Oh
locked
my
in
God,
eternal
dude.
storms. Here, the mysteries of destined death are revealed. You face
Dude, I still remember the first time I went to Farum Azula. Felt like the scariest shit ever. Especially the runs there.
off against Malakat,
Frenzy
the loyal
Flame
guardian of the
ending
Rune
kills
of Death,
Dorn though.
who spent eons
That's
keeping
true.
mortality under lock and key.
But it looks cool.
Then comes the Halleck Tree, long thought
I got Epstein modded character, yo.
to be
Don't know if
Michaela's
we'll be
failed
doing
rebellion, but is revealed to be more than just a sanctuary for the cursed and the misbegotten. It's part of his master plan to usurp the
ER was an amazing first playthrough, bro. I would literally do anything to play this game again for the first time. Bro, since this game came out, I have not had a game, single game experience like this, bro, where I was actually invested. I literally wanted to play all day. Bro, I've played a ton of single player games. Maybe God of War came close, but there was nothing like this one, bro. There was nothing like this one.
Greater Will entirely. You uncover that Michaela's disappearance wasn't a simple kidnapping
Chop
by
my
mob.
day off so I
It was
could play
part of
ER for
Michaela's
the
scheme to
first time
manipulate
again.
his bloodthirsty half-brother into advancing his own ascension into godhood. So Mog did beat the allegations. Michaela's motives become clearer and darker. He wasn't just building a paradise, he was constructing a prison for free will, using his abilities to bend others to his vision of perfection. And
fuck
you,
Michaela.
the Tarnished, have been
Anything? Okay,
unknowingly
whoa, whoa, whoa,
walking
whoa,
into
whoa,
his
chill.
endgame. As you piece together these revelations, one thing becomes painfully clear. The Greater Will, the demigods, the outer gods, they're all playing their own games, and you're the chess piece everyone wants to control.
Kill them all.
Even Marika, the enigmatic god who shattered the Elden Ring, begins to look less like a savior and more like a tragic tale. You march toward the final showdown with the growing realization that this journey isn't just about restoring the Elden Ring, it's about deciding whose vision of the world deserves to win, or if any of them do. At this point, you've done the air tree,
Balconic.
acquired the Rune of Death, and left enough carnage behind to make even the most hardened warriors question your sanity. But now, as the lands between smolder and crack under your footsteps, it's time to confront the final truths. You make your way to the Ashen capital, formerly Leyendell, now buried under the weight of fire and ruin. The grandeur of the Golden Order
And you have
is
to
reduced
fight
to dust,
Gideon.
its knights broken, and its last defenders little more than shadows of their former selves.
I love the
First
art of
obstacle
this
is
of this
Godfrey,
video.
the first Elden Lord. Yes, he's back, and this time he's ditched the regal golden daddy look for a full-on primal rage mode as Hora Lu.
Basically
Imagine your
Broly,
dad at a
bro.
barbecue, except instead of flipping burgers, he's flipping you into the ground repeatedly while screaming about being the apex predator.
You
Or
basically
maybe
turn into
not, if
Broly.
this gives war flashbacks for some of you. Turns out Godfrey wasn't just Marika's arm candy, he was her enforcer, the OG Elden Lord.
I would do TS if I was Tarnished. I mean, you could
Who
literally
kept things
infinitely
in mind
respawn, so
before
why not?
everything went sideways. And what now? He's here to remind you that he still got it. Defeating Godfrey clears the path to the Erdtree's heart, where the shattered remains of Marika and her counterpart Radagon await. Or should we say, her other half? Because surprise, Marika and Radagon aren't just partners, they're two halves of the same being. Yup, the Greater Will looked at the idea of
Oh,
self-quest and
hell
said,
nah.
perfect, ship it. And you're left thinking, at least they aren't brother and sister like some other possible couple in this game. I'm kidding, you're actually left
ER
thinking,
logic,
does this
wake up
mean
in a
you've
dark
been fighting
place,
one
get to
god
kill
with severe
gods.
identity issues,
Literally.
or two gods who can't decide who gets custody of the Elden Ring? I'm kidding again, you don't really get the chance to think a lot before Radagon starts hammering away at you. Radagon, furious and glowing with divine energy, unleashes his full power. Just as you start to think you've won, the Greater Will pulls out its final card, the Elden Beast. A
Ugh.
celestial nightmare made of stars.
Dude, I was kind of like, what's it called? Disappointed by the Elden Beast. I don't know. I didn't think he was that cool of final boss. I came from Dark Souls 3, and the Soul of Cinder is such a cool final boss. So this was just like, I'm fighting a blob.
His divine order and your deepest insecurities. The Elden Beast isn't just a fight, it's the universe's final middle finger. Oh,
Elden
you think
Beast
you're
is an
hot
L
stuff
boss?
because you made it this far. Meet my glowing space fish. You realize this thing isn't just a boss, it's the embodiment of the
I
greater
loved
will's
Radagon,
control.
hated Elden
But, hey,
Beast. Yeah,
you
Elden
didn't
Beast
come
is
to
kind of an
start and
L.
let a star-powered koi pond stop you. So, armed with sheer determination and maybe a healthy dose of rage after dying 200
Elden
times to
Beast or
millennia,
DS1 boss?
you landed the final blow.
That's a good question.
Congratulations, you've officially ticked off the cosmos, but your journey isn't over.
But the last boss
With
of
the Elden
DS1 is
Ring in
kind of
ruins
peak.
and Marika's reign at the end, you're presented with a choice, or rather, a series of moral dilemmas disguised as endings.
Selfie.
Number 1, Age of Fracture. The default ending. You slap the Elden Ring back together like you're fixing a leaky faucet and become Elden Lord. The Golden Order is restored, the lands between size and relief.
See, this
and
I know.
nothing
This about the
fundamentally
lore I know.
changes. It's like cleaning up after a wild party. Everything looks fine, but the smell lingers. Number 2, Age of Duskborn. You followed Fia, let her cuddle you, and now you're fixing the death problem. You use the Mending Rune of the Death Prince to restart the life-death cycle, breaking the immortality curse. It's peaceful, it's poetic, and it makes you wonder, was all the murder
Just
really
a slime with
necessary?
veins, literally.
Yes, it was. Number 3, Blessing of Despair. You aligned with the Dung Eater, which says more about you than it does about the lands between. The Mending
I've
Rune
never
of the
done this
Fell
ending.
Curse ensures the world is plunged into endless despair. Imagine being crowned king only to doom your descendants to eternal suffering. Though the modern
What?
equivalent would be just birthing a kid in this economy. Number
That's
4,
crazy.
Age of Order. By solving Gold Mask's cryptic puzzles and completing Brother Corhin's questline, you unlock the Mending Ruin of Perfect Order. This ending smooths out the inconsistencies of the Golden Order, creating a world of peace and structure. It's the neat freak dream. No chaos, no anomalies, just orderly harmony. The lanes between gets a glow up, and you get to feel smug about fixing what
What about
Eureka
Randy's
broke.
ending? That's the first
Just
ending I
don't
did.
think too hard about how culty Perfect Order sounds. Number 5, Lord of Frenzied Flame. Burn it all, no gods, no kings, just ashes. Embrace chaos and become the physical embodiment of the frenzied flame, ensuring that the world will never again be ruled by the divine tyranny, or anything else for that matter. Number 6, Age of the Stars. The
Yeah, that's the one I did.
Ditch the Greater Will and the lands between entirely, joining Ronnie in her quest to become a cosmic goddess.
This is the
It's
best
most
ending.
romantic ending, sure, but also the most confusing. Do you rule the stars now? Are you a celestial sidekick? Whatever it is, you've officially ghosted the lands between. And that's it. The world is broken, again, but hey, at least it's not your problem anymore.
W Riz.
Because you did it, Tarnished. You either saved the lands between, doomed it to eternal suffering, or
Dung Eater ending gives everyone the Omen curse.
yeeted yourself into the cosmos
Really?
with your blue doll wife. Either way, your name will go down in history, or at least in the angry rants of every NPC you accidentally killed along the way. Now go touch some grass. Literally, the Erdtree's ashes are
We don't do that around here. W video. Why it sucks to be born as a Damn, this is a year old?